What's up, guys? Matt Brown here for thelines.com, playpicks.com, and we are doing the Week 7 market update here on the lines, guys. If you hit up here, click the little odds tab. If you are watching this on YouTube, you can see, and then this pops up. Nice little comparison of all of the games, all of the lines across the industry as we sit right now. Just a quick reminder, Buffalo, Dallas, Jacksonville, Minnesota, the Chargers, and Pittsburgh all on bye here in week number 7. So from a survivor standpoint, from a fantasy standpoint, from a contest standpoint, et cetera, you are down 6 teams and 3 games this week. So just something to keep in mind as we get going. On Thursday, Denver Broncos visit the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland dealing with all sorts of injuries. That said, they are 3.5-point favorites. There is a 3 available out there if you want to do that as well. There is the 3 and a hook if you want to take the Broncos. Look, both of these teams got absolutely hammered this past week. But again, the Browns, you really got to keep an eye on that injury report. And most likely, it looks like Baker Mayfield might sit this one out. I mean, a short week, shoulder injury that's been popping out on him. But again, that's not certain yet. So be sure and find out which quarterback is going to be playing for the Browns before you bet in this one. Washington football team and the Green Bay Packers 9.5-point favorites across the board right now over the Washington football team. And Washington football team, a very, very interesting study in this one kind of as well. Whenever we look at this team, I mean, look, it is really kind of coming off of the rails here for this Washington football team. This is a total of 48.5. Fairly interesting total, really, for me, because where are the points going to come from on the Washington football team side of things? From Green Bay Packers side, it looks like Bakhtiari is, if not returning this week, is getting close to a return. So that's a big upgrade for the Green Bay Packers. Chiefs on the road at the Titans. Titans coming off a big Monday night win where they won outright. Didn't even cover the 6. Didn't have to cover the 6. They just win outright. And with that, 4.5-point dogs at home against the Chiefs. Interesting line in this one. I imagine there will be a pretty good amount of support for the Titans here over the next couple of days with that win. Going to see how Taylor Lewan, their all-pro offensive tackle, got to see how he comes out of what looked like a very scary injury there on Monday Night Football. The Chiefs get it done this week, just absolutely hammering a bad Washington football team. Not really much to pull from that win because they did what they were supposed to do, other than the fact that they continue to turn the ball over. A little bit concerning on the offensive side. Atlanta Falcons, 2.5-point favorites on the road at the Miami Dolphins. This is the state of the Miami Dolphins. Even at home, can't become favorites in a game against the Atlanta Falcons, who have been equally as disappointing as they have. This game has a total of 47.5. Tua is back for the Dolphins, so there is at least a little bit of a bright spot. If you want to pull another bit of a bright spot, even though they lost to the Jags over in London this past week, Mike Gesicki gets very involved. Jalen Waddle gets very involved in the offense, so maybe getting Tua back under center can get this team and get the ship righted here. But boy, really disappointing loss to the Jags over in London. Of course, the Falcons are coming off of a bye. New York Jets, New England Patriots. Patriots are 7-point home favorites over the Jets. Jets coming off of a bye in this one. Patriots lose this week to the Dallas Cowboys. That game was closer. It was an overtime game. That game was closer than it was in the box score. If you go look in, the Cowboys utterly dominated that game. And so the Patriots, it didn't show up in on the final score, but if you look at the box score, absolutely dominated. This line seems about appropriate. I'm sure there will be some support on the Patriots from teaser legs. Not a lot of teaser options this week, but to take the home team down to 1, I can't really argue with that one. That said, I don't know if it's going to make my card. Carolina Panthers, New York Giants. Carolina Panthers are 3-point road favorites. New York Giants sitting there as the home dog. This game has a low total in today's NFL of 43. Of course, the Panthers put Christian McCaffrey on IR, so he will not be back for sure. We know that. Giants dealing with all kinds of injuries on their side of the ball as well. And with that, we find a 3 here. Looks like it could be moving to 2.5. As you see, this 3 is juice. So a lot of people taking the 3 with the home Giants. And a couple of places has already even ticked down to 2.5. Bengals and the Ravens. Bengals 6.5 point underdogs on the road at the Ravens. Ravens coming off a very, very impressive win. And then the Bengals coming off of a convincing win. I shouldn't say necessarily, impressive. It's against the Lions. So, take from that what you will. The only team that hasn't won a game yet in the NFL. But it was a convincing win. Never a doubt this Bengals team was going to get that done. And of course, this Ravens squad just absolutely throttles the Chargers. Looks like a real contender. Now that Lamar Jackson's throwing the ball from the pocket, now he gets back a weapon in Rashad Bateman as well. The more that he gets on the field, the more that he gets into this offense. This Ravens team, incredibly interesting. This is one of the more interesting games, interesting lines of the week. Does it get closer to 7, or does it stay at the 6 area? Does it even tick under the 6? This is going to be interesting to see which team people believe in the most here. Eagles and the Raiders. Raiders are 3-point home favorites over just the hapless Philadelphia Eagles. Team is absolutely pathetic. Can't get anything going on the offensive side of the ball whatsoever. And the Raiders, even though they lose their head coach and play caller, they go out and they win convincingly this past week and then find themselves as 3-point favorites at home here against the Eagles. And you're going to say that means it's a pick. Not really. Home field advantage isn't worth 3 points anymore. So they are definitely a favorite in this game, even if we're on a neutral. Lions and the Rams. Yes, that is correct. Look at these next 3 games. The Lions and the Rams, 15 to 15.5 point favorites. There is 14.5 at DraftKings in this one. A total of 50.5 in this game. Rumblings that Jared Goff could possibly be benched in this game or before this game or at some point during the game, whatever it might be. Dan Campbell not really giving him the greatest vote of confidence there, saying he needs to play better and stuff like that. And the Rams just go out and absolutely destroy the Giants. Giants were never in the game at all. Rams just completely dominated, looking like one of the best teams, if not the best team in the NFL. Find themselves as more than 2 touchdown favorites at home against the Lions. This thing was under 2 touchdowns. I might take a chance, but not going to do it at the current number. Texans and the Cardinals, an even bigger number, 16.5 or 17 in favor of the Cardinals. This Texans team, probably the worst team, even worse than the Lions, even though the Texans do have a win. The current state of this Texans team, they go ahead and release Whitney Merciless. He actually had a few sacks for the team this year and all that stuff. They're just, they're not trying to win. Cardinals, though, how long do they keep the foot on the gas? That's the problem here in this game. Kyler Murray supposedly dealing with a little bit of a shoulder issue as well. How soon does he hit the bench? There's all kinds of things here with a spread this big that makes you really nervous in an NFL game. The Bears and the Bucks, 13.5 point favorites are the Bucks over the Bears. And to give you an idea of just how big that, a spread that actually is, it's only a total of 47 in this thing. So they are 2 touchdown favorites with a total of 47 in a game. What can you say about this Bears team? I mean, Justin Fields doesn't look quite ready yet to play in the NFL. The Bucks, despite having a very thin secondary, have been able to figure some stuff out on the defensive side of the ball. They've been able to still get it done. Again, another one of those numbers that is just, and you do question motivation from the Bucks. How long do they keep the foot on the gas? I mean, we're talking about a 17-game season now. So an extra football game has to be played. So do you start giving these guys extra rest throughout the course of the season? We don't know yet because we don't have a sample size. Our sample size is 0. We've never had a season with 17 games before, but it'll be interesting to see how these teams start to do any sort of, as we call in the NBA, quote unquote, load management. Colts and the 49ers, 3.5 point favorites are the 49ers. There is 1-4 popping on the 49ers. Of course, the Niners are coming off of a bye. The Colts are coming off of an absolute destruction game where, listen, the Colts did what they were supposed to do. They destroyed the Texans, a bad Texans football team. 49ers are coming off of a bye. It looks like Jimmy Garoppolo as opposed to Trey Lance. Jimmy Garoppolo practiced early in the week this week. Trey Lance did not, but we shall see. No official word there on how that goes. 44.5, 45 your total in that one. That's your Sunday night game. And then on Monday night, New Orleans Saints at the Seattle Seahawks. Yeah, I know. Jameis Winston versus Geno Smith. Just what you wanted on Monday Night Football. 4.5 for 5. There's 5.5 as well in favor of the Saints on the road here against the Seahawks. The Saints coming off of a bye as well, so they have a chance to get at least a little bit healthier, maybe figure some things out on the offensive side of the ball with Jameis Winston. And, of course, Seattle Seahawks without Russell Wilson, so it has just been a little bit of a slog for that team. That said, pushed the Steelers to the very brink before actually losing that game as well. We have a total sitting at a very low 43. Guys, as always, if you need a sport, get multiple outs. You can see there's different lines, there's different everything. Come up here, find your state. Just click on U.S. Sports Betting, find your state. You're going to get every one of the best, let's just say, hey, whatever, I'm in Michigan. You're going to get the absolute very best sign-up offers here. You need multiple outs. You need to make sure you're getting the best number, so be sure and do that whenever you head over to the lines. And as always, if you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up. Let us know in the comment section which one of these early lines stands out to you as far as games that you're definitely going to play or games that you want no part of whatsoever. Pretty tricky week in the NFL Week 7, but good luck on all of your bets.